LP like Paul.
Yeah.
Miles College. Yeah.
Them Golden Bears. MC, 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 MC.
We finna get it in.
MC, 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 MC.
Look here.
Purple over here, gold over there. Yeah, we reppin' Miles College, we them Golden Bears. Purple over here, gold over there. Yeah, we reppin' Miles College, we them Golden Bears. Gold all in my chain, purple all in my shirt. Gold all in my chain, purple all in my shirt. Gold all in my chain, purple all in my shirt. Yeah, gold all in my chain, purple all in my shirt. Gold all in my chain, purple all in my shirt. We screamin' dirty MC, we turned the ball on our turf. Miles College, we them Golden Bears. Who we finna play? We don't even care. PMM crank the band up and light the fuse. Not a crowd jumping, oh your team bout to lose. I rep it hard, everybody know. You gon' see me representing that purple and gold. We finna get it in, we finna get a win. Everybody turned up, yeah we on 10. Lord have mercy, making history. You don't wanna run up, I got my clique with me. Purple over here, gold over there. Yeah, we reppin' Miles College, we them Golden Bears. Purple over here, gold over there. Yeah, we reppin' Miles College, we them Golden Bears. Gold all in my chain, purple all in my shirt. Gold all in my chain, purple all in my shirt. Gold all in my chain, purple all in my shirt. Gold all in my chain, purple all in my shirt. Gold all in my chain, purple all in my shirt. Gold all in my chain, purple all in my shirt. Gold all in my chain, purple all in my shirt. Gold all in my chain, purple all in my shirt.
Yeah. Okay. This that dirty MC, nigga. Miles College. Okay. We all we got. We all we need. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I love my HBCU. The dirty MC.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome, 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 welcome back.
Good afternoon and welcome to College Forum. I am Dean Parker, and Assistant Professor of Religion here at Miles College, and we are so excited to kick off the Spring 22 semester. We want to welcome you to our forum campus updates for the spring semester 2022. We have some amazing administrators and leaders from across the campus who will be sharing some very, very important information for you, the student body, as well as our Miles College community overall as you prepare to return to the home of Southern Beauty. Before we get started, we want to always set the tone with a word of prayer. So we ask that wherever you are, if you're safe to join us in a word of prayer, to do so at this time. Gracious God, we just thank you for another day. We thank you for an opportunity to be here in this virtual space as we seek to prepare our students to return to Miles College as safe as possible. We ask now that you would bless the administration, the faculty, the staff, and our students as we all prepare to return for higher education learning. Now, God, as we hold this forum, we ask that the information that is given may be done so in such a way that everyone is on one accord, so that when we return, we are able to do business and to do it successfully and safely. Bless our president and all of our Miles College family members. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. I just want to share that we are excited to have a number of leaders from across the campus with us. Of course, we have our Senior Vice President and Provost, Dr. Geraldine Agee, with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
We have a Dean of Students, Dean Charles Starworth.
Good afternoon.
Morning, Dean. As well as Miss Emily Johnson, who is our new Emily Jones, I'm sorry, who is our new Vice President of Enrollment Management. Good morning.
Good afternoon.
And we have our SGA President, Ms. Kristen Lawrence, and of course, from our Health Services Department, Dr. Bob Agee. Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I hope you all had a safe and enjoyable Christmas break and New Year. And we're back here on the campus getting ready to receive our students. And so what we want to do, of course, is start with our SGA president and to allow her to speak to the student body and to share any pertinent information that she may have for our student body.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for having me. It's so good to see you guys. I can't wait to see everybody back on campus. You know, with despite everything, we are still pushing forward. We are still staying true and being strong. So I really want to commend everyone, and I also want to extend my condolences to anybody who has been affected by COVID, but also want to remind the students to keep in mind, yes, we are back on campus and we want to have fun, but it's also important to remember to be safe and be cautious and be aware. But also, you know, you're here for a reason, so remember that reason. We have a whole week of events ready to welcome you guys back, and we just can't wait to see you.
Absolutely. Can you share with us some of those events and what are the protocols to participating in those events?
So some events, and let me get the list right here, but some events will include like a mental health talk. You know, this whole pandemic on top of being a student can be very taxing on the mental. So a mental health talk just to really, you know, hear the students and so they can hear that they're not alone. Oh, hi, Kayla. But just for our students to know that they're not alone, you know, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're going through. Hey, Juju. Then we also will have, you know, an organizational fair for the new and incoming students so they can see, you know, what we have to offer on campus, what you can do, how you can get involved, how you can make a change and make a difference. We'll have a student speak out so you can come ask questions about any and everything. We'll have meet and greets. We'll also be having a very special service for a student who recently passed and honoring his memory and just really celebrating the life and not even just focusing on the bad. Hey, Tay. But we are so ready to have you guys back. You guys make sure that you wear your face mask. Please, please, please. If you are not vaccinated, I would highly recommend going ahead and getting the first dose if you want to be back on campus with all your friends and your family. You know, social distancing will remain intact and face masks. We have to make sure that we're covering, because even if you are vaccinated, there's still a chance of, you know, getting the vaccine or getting COVID. So we still want to take precautions, but have fun. So.
Absolutely. That's good. I'm so excited that you all are paying special attention to mental health. That is something that is ever so needed, not just in our community, but overall. People have been stricken with illness, battling COVID and all kind of things, and to have that mental health component in addition to the services that we provide, professional services that we provide here at Miles College is so important. And that's what I love about Miles College. Miles College addresses the student holistically, mind, body, and spirit. So I want to thank you, Madam President, for joining us this morning. Are there any closing thoughts that you may have for us?
Just can't wait to see you all. I hope that everybody is doing well. I hope that we all get to come back and have a safe semester. Just make sure that you know that you're loved and you're welcomed here. So please come back.
Absolutely. Thank you. Stick around. We're going to bring you back, okay? Again, we want to welcome you all to College Forum. As you prepare to return to campus, we're sharing with various leaders from across the campus to make sure you have the most accurate information to safely return to the home of Southern Beauty. At this time, I want to bring forward our Senior Vice President and Academic Provost, Dr. Geraldine Agee. Good morning, Dr. Agee. Let's get you unmuted.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing well. Happy to be back. To be honest, I drove in to work today and I texted the president, Bobby Knight, about how proud and excited and honored I am to be in this position for such a time as this, and that I got excited about the things to come, where before there may have been worry or trepidation or doubt. But we've done this before and we've done it well, and we're going to do it well again. And we've been keeping ourselves safe and doing the things that we know to keep ourselves safe. And so I feel nothing but optimistic about spring 2022 semester.
Absolutely. I thank you for all that you do, especially our president. You guys are really bringing our students the resources that's needed for them to excel well. And that's something to really congratulate you all. And I know it's a team effort, but you all are really driving us and driving the institution to higher heights and higher expectations. So as we talk about that, as we talk about spring 22, do you have any updates from us, from your office and your division?
Yes. So we are actually headed back into class on Monday. I am aware that other campuses may have pushed back their start date, but major colleges and universities, hey, almost there, class of 2022, have gone ahead and gotten started. And we have been having testing every week since COVID started. We have been doing everything that we can, following the science, and then also the information that's out there to make sure our campus is safe for our students, for our faculty, and for our staff. But the biggest message that I have is it's time to come to campus. It's time to be on campus. There are certain students that have done extraordinarily well despite the pandemic, but we know the pandemic has had an impact on not only our students, but students around the world. So we want our students to be here to get our absolute best. We are rolling out new programs to assist our students. We're going to have supplemental learning instruction where they will be able to have not only tutors, but TAs who are familiar with their classes, whether the subject is writing or the most advanced chemistry that we offer. Our students will be having small group assistance for the entire semester, from the day they get here to their final exams. We're not going to let anybody fail. There's not going to be any bear left behind. And what I mean by we're not going to let anybody fail, we're going to make sure that we help our students excel. Whatever we did before that we felt like we were doing a good enough job, you guys, we got to elevate that, because there's students at other schools that are blazing a path, right? They're going for these jobs, they're going for med school, they're going for dental school. So we don't have any more excuses. This COVID is something that we're living with, but we're going to live with it well, and we're going to do well. So we have put together so many resources to make sure that our students do well when they come back.
Absolutely. And tell us about the new program that we're rolling out this spring semester, the Mobile Life Initiative.
Great. Thanks for asking about that. So the Mobile Life Initiative is where every student that's on campus will receive a suite of Apple products, which includes the Apple iPad, a stylus, keyboard, so that the students can be connected and do their work. And this is not just something that we're doing so people can work remotely. We want them to have the best. The president wants them to have the best tools so they can be successful no matter what we're doing. The president has attracted so many corporations and businesses that have never, created these partnerships with Miles College or any HBCU in the past. And we need our students to be so competitive that they're first in line for these amazing opportunities. And we believe that through this Mobile Life Initiative, we'll be able to do that. We were also blessed to be announced as one of a very small number of schools that were awarded a Propel grant from a project that's a project of Apple and the Southern Company. And the Propel grant, we're going to do an arts and entertainment project, a visual album, and a documentary that we're going to be recording on campus. And we're going to be using Apple products for that, as well as student talent, student directors, led by faculty resources and mentors, as well as mentors that are in the profession, that are, in the Atlanta area, in movies and music and TV. And so there's a lot of exciting things that are going to be happening on campus, and we want our students and our faculty and staff to be part of it.
Absolutely. One more thing, and we need to allow Dr. Bob Agee to come. I'm sure you know him, but he needs to come next because we're in the midst of testing right now our faculty and staff persons, and we want to keep him on target. But Dr. Agee, before we bring Dr. Bob, could you tell us when school starts, and to reiterate the fact that we are coming to campus, and then if there are any questions that students may have, we'll come back at the end. But if they need to reach the Office of Academic Affairs, tell us how they can reach your office.
Sure. Let me, I'll hold that because I do have a slide for that. And if you will just jump to Dr. Bob Agee about testing, I'll come back and answer that question.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. I'm glad to share that we have Dr. Bob Agee, who oversees our health center here at Miles College. Good morning, Dr. Agee.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I am good. So I have a lot of important information I want to get out to the student body and to the faculty. We are absolutely testing right now. That's why I wanted to jump in. We are testing the faculty and the administration right now. Faculty is testing from 12 to 4, and the staff is testing currently as we're speaking. But just to let the student body knows, we are starting testing, like I said, 9-2 in the student activity upstairs. We'll start testing the students tentatively on Saturday 8th. If they come back early, or the 10th when they start classes. So we will have testing. We are testing everyone despite what they previously have gotten vaccinated or not. We are trying to make the campus as safe as we can. And we want to make sure that y'all have a safe learning environment without any problems. So please get tested. Unless you bring in a test 48 hours, that you got tested 48 hours before you came, then we will not test you. But if you have not, then we're going to test you on campus. We are also doing some vaccinations. We do need you to go to miles.edu under the tab. It's called COVID-19 vaccination submission form at Miles College. If you put in all your information there, we will vaccinate you. We are also doing the booster. So if you have two, right now the CDC says if you have two vaccinations, you're only about 38% protected against this Omicron variant. And if you get the third one, you're about 80% protected. And it does not give you absolute protection, but it definitely gives you a fighting chance. And we want everybody to be as protected as you can against the Omicron, which is very contagious right now. And so I really want everybody to get tested. The number that I want y'all to know that to get in touch with us for any COVID related questions at the health center is 205-855-3. That's 205-855-3072. That is the center. You can also email us, which is probably even better, at healthcenter@miles.edu. That's healthctr@miles.edu. So please go to the miles.edu, and if you haven't been vaccinated, please submit that form so we have the exact numbers who need vaccinations, and we can definitely get you vaccinated as soon as you get to campus. I do wish everybody to get vaccinated before. Now, the last thing I want to go over real quick is the CDC new update. So the CDC updates came out just recently, and we're following CDC mandates, and it shortened the recommendation for quarantine patients. So this is what to know. If you test positive for COVID-19, everyone, regardless of vaccination status, if you test positive, you have to stay home for 5 days now. It used to be 7 to 10 days, up to 14 days. Now they shorten it to 5 days. So if you have no symptoms or your symptoms are resolving after 5 days, you can leave your house. We want you to continue to wear a mask around others for those 5 additional days after you've kind of gone through the 5-day quarantine. So you have to be, 5 days is the new rule. So just know that. If you were exposed to someone with COVID-19, and if you have been boosted or completed the primary series of Pfizer or Moderna, or completed the primary series of J&J vaccine within the last 2 months, wear a mask around others for 10 days, test on day 5 if possible. So let me go back over that. If you were exposed to someone with COVID-19, quarantine. If you have been boosted or completed the primary series of Pfizer within the last 6 months, or Moderna within the last 6 months, or completed the series of J&J within the last 2 months, you for around others for 10 days. I do want you to wear a mask anyway, but that's what they're saying, to wear a mask for 10 days and then test on the 5th day if possible. If you develop symptoms, get tested or stay at home right away. Okay. If you completed the primary series of Pfizer or Moderna over the 6 months and are not boosted, or completed and are unvaccinated, stay at home for 5 days. If you start wearing symptoms, after that, continue to wear a mask at least for 5 days regularly. And if you can't quarantine, you must wear a mask for 10 days. Test on day 5 if possible. So that is the new rules for COVID. Is a 5-day. It used to be 7 to 10 days. So if you get exposed, or if you are testing positive, you need a quarantine for 5 days now, not 7 to 10 days, it's 5 days. Okay. So that's all I have. We still need to follow the rules, meaning, social distancing, 6 feet, mask wear as much as you can around populations and in class, wash your hands, hygiene. All that is still out there because we want to make sure everybody's safe, and we're trying to keep people from getting this. So help us with this fight. Teachers, and you want your faculty to be safe. And the best way to do that is to be vaccinated, 1, 2, be good with your hygiene, washing your hands and that, and social distancing and wearing a mask. I can't emphasize that. But we are here at the health center to help. I am here to help. If you have any question, please contact at those numbers I gave you. And definitely, if you have not been vaccinated, please vaccinate. I can't emphasize that enough. Vaccinate, vaccinate, vaccinate. Thank you so much, Mr. Moody. This is awesome, and I appreciate you.
Thank you, Dr. AG. Now, students, we know that this is a lot of information that we're sharing. When this live stream is over, we're going to send the YouTube link to you so that you can reference this at any time after this live recording. When we come back, we're going to give a brief trio commercial, but when we come back, we are going to hear from our Dean of Students, Dean Charles Stallworth. Thank you, Doc.
Hi, I'm Don Mosley, and I am the director here at Miles College of the TRIO Student Support Services. TRIO is a federal funded organization here on the campus. We have many programs that support the students that are like me. Some of those support services are one-on-one tutoring, one-on-one needs assessments, figuring out what it is you want to be and where you want to go in life. We do career explorations, and we also take trips around the world. Go to DC, go to graduate schools, and actually sit down in those desks and figure out exactly if this is where you want to be for the next year or 4. TRIO follows you in your journey of success of navigating college. Here at Miles College, we welcome you. We want to make sure that you achieve your goal, graduate, go to semester, and continue forward.
Welcome back to our campus update. With me, I have the awesome Dean Charles Starworth, Dean of Students here at Miles College. And before he shares important information with you all, keep those questions coming. We are monitoring those questions. You all are asking very, very important questions. Keep those questions coming in the chat section, and we're going to answer as many as we can. And then there'll also be contact information, emails, and phone numbers where you can direct those questions to as well. So please, we encourage you to keep sending those questions in. Good afternoon, Dean.
Good afternoon, Dean Parker. How are you today?
I am doing well. I know you're a busy man this week, but I want to thank you for taking your time to stop by and to share some very important updates for our student body as they prepare to return to campus.
Right. Thank you for having me. And of course, yes, busy and just trying to make sure that we stay in compliance. I've been reading all of the questions and to answer them as best as I can and go back if I have to. The main thing I want all students to realize is with those emails that went out through your Miles email, it is implicative. It is very important that you always check your Miles email. And I want us to make sure that we're putting emphasis on the vaccination and not the testing. So here's how it goes, just to reiterate everything. If you are fully vaccinated, in other words, you have received both shots, you will still be required to test once you arrive. Or as Dr. Bob Agee said, if you have your PCR test, which shows that you're negative across the board in all variants, please have that test. For example, since new students are coming on January 5th, you need to have a PCR test and be fully vaccinated before you arrive, especially if you're living in the residence halls. So let's just say if you only have one vaccination shot, then you will need to have that second vaccination shot before classes start on Monday, January 10th. Now, I do know that many emails, I think you all got tired of me this past fall. We sent out plenty of emails during the fall and strongly encouraging the vaccinations. In this case, you just need to be vaccinated. That is what administration is dealing with best, even faculty and staff. We have to be vaccinated. Of course, there was the implementation of if you provided a religious or a medical exemption form or document, those are reviewed by a committee, and then if approved, then you are exempt. If not approved, then you are required to be vaccinated. We need to make sure that all students realize, especially those staying in the dorms, and I just want to run the numbers by. I know Dr. Bob Agee has already left, but case in point, last fall, 2020, we had a lot more not clear students as opposed to this past fall. This past fall, it was easily 5 times less. But let's just say, for instance, I'm trying my best to get to all of the questions too as well in the allotted time that I have or with this particular point. So I know in the past, we had quarantine or isolation rooms. Those rooms will now only be available on our North plot of land or the North Campus. But the same thing will still be applying. If you live more than 5 hours away or more than 300 miles away once you test positive. But this is, of course, you will only be staying in the dormitories if you are fully vaccinated. I want to be explicitly clear about that. But if in case you do test not clear is the terminology we use instead of positive, just a softer term of saying that, then if you live within 5 hours or live within 300 miles, either or, you will be sent home. If you live further than that and you are completely vaccinated, but of course test not clear or test positive, then of course we will house you on the North Campus. But I want to make sure I re-emphasize the emphasis, the testing is just the little quick thing to get you on campus. To keep you on campus and to participate in in-person instruction is for you to be fully vaccinated. If you have your one vaccination shot, that's great, but you would still need to have your second vaccination shot immediately. Remember, classes start the 10th. Now, and you're welcome, Kiara Robinson, I think. So new students need to be fully vaccinated? Yes. New students, especially if you are staying in the residence halls, I think last time I checked, it was about, I know it's close to 50 or 60 new students for this spring, but only about 15 or 16 are staying on campus. Yes, you will need to be fully vaccinated unless an applicable or a verified religious exemption form or medical exemption form is approved by the committee. Other than that, I know one thing that was always a problem for some of the students, I think I helped about 30 to 40 students this past semester. You can go, to the Miles website, top left corner where it says COVID-19, you need to upload your vaccination card. Only if you're fully vaccinated, please upload that card. I will be having my residence hall staff. That will be part of your checkoff to coming back into the residence halls. You need to be vaccinated. And this is not us being harsh or anything as the institution. Is making sure that everybody is safe, faculty, staff, and of course, you primarily, the students. I'm vaccinated. I'm waiting my particular time to get my booster. I think I won't be able to qualify for that, I think, until like the end of this month, the 6 months or whatever it was. But, I'm going to get my booster too. And let me see, how often do we have to test? It depends. For those who are, thank you for asking that question. Who was that? Mackenzie. For the students who are vaccinated and had those particular forms, they were tested weekly. And then also for students who did not comply to that testing, we haven't forgot about there would probably be an assessment for you to pay, but we'll visit that. And I'm seeing that some people are talking about gas and whatnot and getting back. These are things that you have known for the entire semester and preparing you, because remember, we sent out emails, just being, forthcoming. I sent that out almost weekly, if not bi-weekly, reminding you, strongly encouraging you to be vaccinated. Now it is just imperative that you will be vaccinated in order to reside in the residence halls, because remember, that is a privilege, that is not a right for you to stay there. And we just want to make sure that everybody is safe and also compliant with the new policies and procedures. As Dr. Bob Agee did say, the good point is if you do have to be quarantined or isolated, it's only going to be for 5 days now instead of 10. And I'm looking at some of your comments and laughing at the same time, but yes, but also wanted to make sure, I'm trying to read these messages as quick as I can. How do you expect a sick student to get home taking a plane, train, bus if they are COVID positive? That's potential exposure to others. Very good question, and that depends on which particular state you are from. Some particular states have more strict guidelines, but as long as you are being compliant with wearing a mask, your personal clearance of you being positive or negative is none of their business. But of course, you would be safe. There are plenty of persons who have, I'm sure, tested positive or not clear and not notified persons. So that's just a particular person being, I don't want to say evil, just not being considerate of others. So if that is the case, if you do have to go home once your test is, you'll save yourself a lot of trouble too. And I wanted to make sure that one of my colleagues who had contacted me, we put the emphasis on the vaccination. Right now, I think there are close to 650, 660, something like that, students that will be staying on campus for the spring. This past, you're welcome, Mr. Sharp. This past fall, we had 800. So if you all were wondering, 806 to be exact, if you all were wondering why we didn't have the quarantine rooms and isolation rooms, it was actually one thing, and I want to congratulate you students. A lot of you all did get vaccinated. Of course, our athletes, our band, our choir, our cheer, they were required. But for our other students who weren't a part of those auxiliaries or athletics, I thank you all because of what you have done. You enabled the level of positive status or positive students over the whole semester. Like last fall, 2020, we had over 180. You know, this year
Right.
was less than 40. So that's kudos to you all. But remember, this Omicron variant, highly contagious, is not as deadly or not as death defying as the Delta variant, but it is important. We want everyone to be safe and clear. Case in point, let me say this to Dean Parker, if you don't mind.
Sure.
We do have new, and they look awesome, new stands in our gymnasium. The bleachers are in. Great bleachers. The capacity. I meant what I said, to be compliant with that, to keep our players safe, to keep the staff safe, to keep the athletic staff safe. It will be mandated in order for you to participate in our home basketball games. You will have to show proof of your school ID and your fully vaccinated card. If not, we will make sure that it's live streamed and you can watch from somewhere else, but it will not be inside that gymnasium. Okay.
Absolutely. I
Somebody
think
said-
Dean Starworth,
Go
I
ahead, I'm
think we're
sorry.
at a good point. What we're going to do is we're going to bring everyone back and answer a few more questions. But if you can re-emphasize when new students return,
Right.
when new students come to
And
campus, and
returning.
returning students. Yes, sir.
Yes, no problem. So new students are expected to come to campus, for those staying on campus, and to pre-register if they haven't pre-registered this Wednesday, January 5th, J5 to be exact. And also returning students, I had to slip that in. Returning students, you all can come back on Thursday, January 6th, or Friday, January 7th. I want to be explicitly clear. I know that some of you all will want to check in on the weekends. It is not the best thing because supporting my housing director, we would like you to check in on Thursdays and Fridays. Now, be mindful that all the staff, we will still help our students and everything and, accommodate you all, but my staff will be explicitly clear on the weekend. If you do that, if you are not fully vaccinated, that will be unfortunate for you because you need to be compliant with the college's new policy in order to protect you, the student, and of course the faculty and staff.
Absolutely.
And of course, classes start Monday the 10th.
There we go. Classes start Monday the 10th. Also, we want to make sure that you are checking your email consistently between now and between you returning back to campus and when class begins. And some of you are having difficulty checking your emails. We encourage you to call IT. The quickest way to reach them is call 205-929-1000 and then hit 0. They will get you directly to the IT department. Thank you, Dean Starworth. And again, we'll bring you back to help us answer some more questions that our students and Miles College family may have. At this time, I want to bring Miss Emily London Jones on with us. She plays a very important role, just like all of the leaders on this live stream, but she is our new Vice President of Enrollment Management. Good morning, Emily.
Good morning. Good afternoon to everyone as well, and Happy New Year. Now that you've heard so much about with the importance of our health and safety to come back to campus, I'm going to put a different little spin on it, talk about what you need to do to complete your registration process. That you know that the date to come back to campus is the 10th, but we want to make sure that our students are in fact validated in order to make sure they can attend classes timely. And some of the important things I'd like to share with you is, first of all, I'll take it from the admissions. Thank you. I'll take it from the admissions perspective for new students to make sure that they've made all their required payments for fees, as well as their final high school transcripts, and also transfer students, their transcripts. Make sure that the admissions office received that information. You see on the screen the admissions email address in order to submit that information so that we can have it where you won't have any delays with that part of your process of registration. The other part is in reference to federal financial aid. If you were selected for a process called verification, make sure that you submitted to the financial aid office all required documentations to complete that process. And or if you've received an award, that you've completed your application and promissory note, as well as entrance counseling for the purpose of your student loans. It's very important that you do that. And then lastly, in reference to make sure that you visit with your academic advisor to ensure that you're registering for the proper courses that you need to take and at least be enrolled in at least 6 hours. These are very key points that needs to be addressed to you in reference to making sure you complete your verification process, as well as your registration process. And then lastly, I want to remind you all in reference to attendance. You must attend your classes to get enrollment verification so that you will be validated in order to ensure that you are in fact a student in school and that your financial aid will credit to your account. So please make sure these are 3 important factors I wanted to share with you today, which is very important. It also allows you to avoid long lines and delays in reference to getting your processes done and the validation. So please remember to do those things and make sure that if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at any time. But the key factor is in reference to making sure you meet all the expectations for confirmation of attendance, making sure that you complete your master promissory note, as well as making sure that you're registered in the proper classes that you need to be registered in, and most importantly, be validated so that your financial aid can credit to your account. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. At this time, we just want to bring everyone back on our live stream. And of course, we want to include Dean Larry Beatty, who is with us, as well as Mr. Leon Moody. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So there have been a lot of questions to arise in the comments section, and we just wanted to bring everyone back on to see if they still have those questions, if we can answer for them. So students and Miles College family, we encourage you to drop those questions, and we're going to do our best to answer as many as we can. Again, this live stream will be turned into a YouTube link, and we will send this out to you all later today. And again, if you all still have questions, you can call us here on the campus. The quickest way to reach us is to dial 205-929-1000 and follow the prompts to your respective areas you need assistance with. Good morning, Dean Beatty. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, and I hope that you and your family are doing well, Dean Parker. Thank you Thank you all for this wonderful information that has been shared with our students today to inform them, to keep them informed that they may make the right decisions as they prepare to come back to campus. I think you have done a marvelous job, and I commend all of you for this wealth of information that's been given today.
Absolutely. Thank you. So we have questions about the Apple products. They want to know, is this going to full-time students, and how are they going to be distributed? And that's open to anyone. Dean Stallworth, Dr. A.G.
Dr. A.G., I think we can't hear you, friend.
We should be able to get some more information to the students about the Mobile Life program. We know that it's going to be for registered students, and it will be distributed here on campus for the students that are enrolled at the college. But there are some other particulars that we'll make sure that we send that email out for the students so that they'll have the correct information, because there may be different situations. So I don't want to speak to that about the details, but they will be distributed on campus. The students have to be registered, they have to be enrolled full-time to be able to get be part of the Mobile Life program here on the campus.
Absolutely.
But
Full-time.
the main thing for students to do for any of these things is check your campus email. And we know that we have to update our emails, but that's for our security and protection. And I say this, I've said this in other forums. I have 2 male children. I have never once helped them reset their password for Xbox, PS5, or Snapchat. So therefore, we know that we can keep up with our passwords. If you're not connected to Dean Stallworth and his weekly message, you are not connected like you need to be. And there could be an emergency, whether it's a tornado or a good thing. And we get these all the time, people that want to help and assist our students every week. And if we can't get in touch with you, then we cannot support in the way that we need to support. And Dean Parker, I do want to say that one of the things that was mentioned earlier, had to do with students asking for gas. And I think they mean if they are not clear and they have to go home, how would they get back? We have been providing support and outreach services for students, emergency services for students. We don't have anybody who had needs that were related to their health or their safety,
Correct.
where we shut the door and turned our backs. We will provide assistance for students as needed. And the
we just
dean
want to
also
add to that there is a criteria and an application process that you need to fill out in order to qualify for that assistance, and they can go to the Miles College website, right?
That's right. It's on the Miles College website, and I'll look that up and put that link so it can be put in the chat. But Dean Stallworth said any students that are within a 5-hour radius. So that is a thought of a car ride, not a plane ride, not a train ride, more of a car ride to get a student to get the student safely home where they can quarantine and come back. And we will make arrangements in academic affairs for students who have any medical issues. We also have assistance and compliance through our services that we provide for students. So, we will provide assistance for students if they find themselves in that situation. And it's happening all over the world. And I do want to say that I did read a quote once that said that being double vaccinated and have a booster is like having a seatbelt. It won't, whether or not, it'll make sure that the symptoms are less, right? So a seatbelt saves your life, but it doesn't keep you from getting in a car accident. Being vaccinated and having a booster doesn't, keep you from ever being exposed to COVID, but it lessens the symptoms and lessens the impact of fatality. And I'm sure that everybody on the call knows somebody who has it now or has had it now, and their symptoms are definitely mild from when COVID first started.
Absolutely. Another question, correct me if I'm wrong. In order to be full-time, you have to have a minimum of 12 hours.
That's right, 12 or more hours.
That's right.
So students, in order to be considered full-time, you must be registered with a minimum of 12 hours. Our next question is virtual classes an option?
So, hello, Amberina, how you doing? Yes, so we have some classes that are offered through our online platform. We have 3 online programs, business psychology and criminal justice, but all of our other programs are traditional programs on ground. But sometimes we have classes that are offered online. So let me be clear, we are back on campus, in person. If somebody's in an online program, then they are in that online program. For the vast majority of us, I'd say about 98% of us on this campus are enrolled in a traditional program. We may find that there's some ease or some kind of, value to taking classes virtually. But like I told our Madam SGA president, that we have to learn these competencies. We've got to compete for these jobs. And in order to do that, we need to come back to campus and get the instruction that we needed. And some of our classes, we are behind in terms of where COVID kept us from being able to be in a lab or be around our peers where we're bouncing ideas off of each other. We want to get back and not only pick up anything that we lost, but excel further. And that's what we're prepared to do this semester. We are on ground. So I'm not looking for students to come and ask for special accommodations or anything of that nature, unless they have a disability, and we deal with that in that way. But we are on ground. There's only 3 programs that are online programs. And like I said, the vast majority of the students on our campus are traditional students in class.
Absolutely, thank you. I believe someone put in the chat section the Google document form for students who are in need of emergency assistance. So if you need assistance, that Google form is in the comments section. Thank you. Let's
I
see.
think too, Dean Parker, if I may interject in reference for two questions I see. Will students be compensated for being fully vaccinated? Yes, I will be speaking with the CFO, Mrs. Diana Knighton, our Senior Vice President. You will be compensated if you are fully vaccinated, not one shot, both shots fully vaccinated. And then I see the other one, will you be penalized for not receiving the booster? Well, it is, I think, according to Dr. Bob Agee, that's, it has to be that 6 months protocol. So if you qualify for the booster, I think Dr. Bob Agee would be saying it is strongly encouraged that you should get it, because remember, 38% versus 80%. So that's a lot better, option for you to be protected. But if you, just, let's say you just finished getting your second shot in October, then you technically won't qualify for your booster until April, because that's the 6 month period or whatnot. So that's not going to be a penalized for not being boosted. Will there be a penalty for not being vaccinated? That's a different story. We want you to be vaccinated, because that's the only way to keep the entire Miles College community safe. Faculty, staff, administration, students, fully vaccinated.
Absolutely. We're going to take a few more questions and then we're going to wrap up. But there's a question. There's a new student and they want to know if they can attend registration or orientation with the first vaccination shot. The last time I checked, orientation was virtual. And so what we want you to do is to contact the admissions office, and Ms. Jones can speak to that as well.
Yes, orientation is in fact virtual. So they will be receiving that information shortly from the admissions office with the link information on there.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And then, Dean Parker, in reference to that shot, please correct me if I'm wrong, Provost Agee. If it is Pfizer, then you only have to wait 21 days for the second shot, and Moderna is 28 days. So just count from the day you took your first shot, and then please get that second shot to be fully vaccinated. Oh, we can't hear you, Provost.
You're muted, Dr. Agee.
Dr. Agee.
You're muted.
Okay.
Dr. Agee.
You're muted.
I know she's sharing some good
And
information.
my doctorate is in psychology, and Dr. Robert Agee's doctorate is in medicine. So I'm not familiar about those dates, and I try my best to make sure I talk in my lane. But I will say this about what you just stated. We all got so smart, you guys, since COVID. We became flexible. We became resilient. So we've been doing this for a while, all of us. I'm talking about the students as well. And I think that we've been champions over this situation, and I'd like for us to continue to excel. So we're using SMART, the science, the medical science, but then also common sense. And so we will be mandating masks. We're all sitting alone in our office while we don't have masks on, but masks are still one of our best defenses in this whole process. And so we will be, wearing our masks when we come back as well. But I'm sure that Dr. Robert Agee will provide links to some information about times in between vaccination shots.
Right. We also talked about making sure it's on our COVID link, so they'll be able to address that with the frequently asked questions in the COVID link.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
And Dean Parker, also, if people have anxieties and frustrations about it, maybe spiritually, we are available to help with that, to help you navigate through your anxieties and frustration, not only mentally and physically, but also spiritually, because there are some people who have conflict about these things. So we can help you to navigate through. Just come to our office. You can get the information, and you can contact us at 205-929-1517 or 205-929-1502. And we'll be glad to share with you and help you to navigate through this spiritually as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dean Beatty. Mr. Moody, how you doing this afternoon? It's very busy over in the Student Activity Center as we are administering tests. Well, not we, but the Health Center is administering tests. We want to thank you and your staff over in the Student Activity Center for making that a smooth process. Are there any announcements or information for the student activities area that you'd like to share?
Absolutely. We have our SGA president on, Kristen. I don't know if she wants to, I can throw her the alley hoop when it comes to Welcome Week. Kristen, would you like to talk about Welcome Week?
Yes, and I actually did see a student ask if the student activities were canceled or postponed. No, they will not be. We are having Welcome Week where we'll be having events throughout the semester for you guys. And I already went over some of the events earlier, but just in case y'all may have missed it, we'll be having things like a mental health talk, we're having an organizational fair, we'll be having a meet and greet, especially for the new students, however many, however little there are, we still want you guys to come out, meet everybody, meet new friends. We'll be having a student speak out, so it'll be like this. You can just ask. Oh, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my AirPod just died, sorry. But yes. Okay. I'm sorry. But yeah, so student activities will not be postponed or canceled. We are trying to work to make sure that you guys have great events and good events that you can enjoy, but also challenge you, make you think. So yes.
All right, thank
And
you.
could I add on to that again, Madam SGA President? Thank you for that. And just wanted to make sure too, with what Mr. Moody said and what Madam SGA President said, please, your dean is very serious. There are the 5th, the 12th, 15th, and 17th are our scheduled home games. We had a home game scheduled for tonight, but it has been rescheduled to the 12th. Your entry into that game will only be permissible with a college ID and a fully vaccinated card. No exceptions. Just wanted to make sure I'm explicitly clear on how home basketball games will work on both the 5th, the 12th, the 15th, and the 17th. Thank you.
All right, just a quick correction, Dean. So we play Clark Atlanta on the 10th.
Oh, Tim. Thank you, Tim.
Gotcha covered. And Fort Valley on the 12th. The women's are at 5:30 and the men's at 7:30 on both days. Also on the 17th, we have MLK. If you don't know, it's Martin Luther King Day and Martin Luther King Day of Service. The city of Fairfield as well as the city of Birmingham. We have partnered with both. Myself, Don Mosley, with Trio, and Brother Parker. We all have partnered with the cities to lend a hand in making our cities great, to help clean up around the areas that Miles, of course, impact those areas. So much going on, and I hate to kind of reiterate it, the COVID guidelines, but you guys already heard it. So just Greek speak. I know a lot of students trying to figure out when Greek speak is. Most of our Greek organizations will be having intake this fall. Some may be, of course, the guidelines may be changing soon, but Greek speak will be on the 17th of January, which is after you come back from the MLK Day of Service. So it will be that evening at 7:00. So look forward to Greek speak. And that's just some of the events. We've got a lot of Greek weeks coming up, as well as Spring Arts Festival, Religious Emphasis Week. You name it, the spring semester is going to be jam-packed. A lot of academic events. Everything's coming up. So just look forward to some of the weekly event calendars coming up. Thanks.
Thank you. Our time is upon us, but again, we thank you all for sharing this information. Students, once more, this information will be dropped into a YouTube link and sent to you today for you to reference the information that was given out today. We also, in closing, as we do each and every week during the academic semester, we will continue our college forums every Wednesday at 11 a.m. And so you will receive this kind of information along with spiritual upliftment, as well as other opportunities from different division and units to share and to sow into you holistically, mind, body, and soul, as we make sure that you have everything you need to excel and succeed here at the home of Southern Beauty. As we prepare to close, certainly I would love to give the last words to Dean Beatty so that he might bless us and that we may pray a special covering over you as you prepare to return. And again, we just want to say that we're so proud of you, we love you, and we look forward to seeing you in the next few days. Dean Beatty?
Yes, thank you, Dean Parker. In the Bible and Exodus 14 and 15, we find these remarkable words. Then the Lord said, I'm reading from the English Standard Version. That's Exodus 14 and 15. Then the Lord said to Moses, why do you cry to me? Tell the people of Israel to go forward in faith. I chose that text today to close out this, to say that we at Miles College, we are moving forward with faith in God. God asked Moses the question, why are you crying to me? God was not angry for them crying out, but as they're crying out, they cried out in doubt and not faith. What God was saying to them, why are you crying out to me in doubt? After all the things that I've done for you, all the things I've brought you through, all the things I've accomplished for you, why are you now crying out in doubt? Moses, speak to the people. Tell them to move forward with faith. So we come today to say to you that we are moving at Miles College. God has brought us through so many things. He watched over us and he kept us. We are moving forward with faith in God. You may ask the question now then, how do we do that, Reverend? Chaplain, Dean, how do we do that? First of all, we consult with God. To move forward with faith, you must consult with God. Pray and ask God for guidance with faith, trusting and believing that God will answer your prayer. Secondly, as I hasten on, you must listen for God's voice. After you pray to God, you must stop, be still, and listen to hear from God, and God will give you the guidance. The third thing you must do, you must follow God's direction. Once God gives you the answer, then you must trust him and follow his directions, and he will lead you through he will navigate you through all of your troubles, your tribulations, and all of your circumstances of life. And finally, we must be patient and keep the faith, always trusting God to give us the answer, always trusting God to watch over us, always trusting God. So we are moving forward with faith in God. I bless you today. It is my prayer for you that God will bless you. It is my prayer for you that God would keep you. It is my prayer for you that God would help you to move forward with faith, trusting in him. Remember, life is hard by the yard, but it's a cinch by the inch if you trust in God.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Welcome back.